welcome back. Today we are reviewing The Maid by Nita Prose. This was a fantastic book. I can't wait to get more into it. So I actually came across this book and added it to my TBR pile after a little bit of a reading break. I wouldn't necessarily call it a slump because we all have times where we just don't pick up a book as much as we normally do, or we take a few weeks off, we've got a lot going on. That was the case for me. So I was looking for something that would be really fun to read and something that wasn't necessarily what I would normally pick up. And so I was doing some research. I was browsing some popular book club websites like Reese Witherspoon's website, Oprah Winfrey's book club website, and on the front cover of this one, it actually says the Good Morning America book club. So it's all over, and it's highly recommended by a lot of these book clubs. Now I know why, but that's how it ended up in my TBR pile. And I actually went to my local library and they had it there. So huge shout out to your local libraries. Definitely check them out. I'm very fortunate that mine has a lot of incredible books. So that's where I picked up this one. Now let's get into it. When I was doing some research, I looked this up on Goodreads, of course. I would also suggest that you do that if you haven't already. I don't always necessarily let that deter me from a book if I'm seeing some bad reviews, but I like to read through them, see what people are saying, and then decide from there if I do want to read it, or maybe just know some things going into it. So this book is actually currently a 3.88 out of 5 on Goodreads. And I'll be honest, I don't really understand or agree with the bad reviews. I loved this book. I thought that the writing style was really interesting and different from what I had been reading. And it's funny and cute, and you just absolutely fall in love with Molly. You want to big sister her, she needs it. So this is why I say don't let the bad reviews deter you from reading it, because I thought it was fantastic. And also, while I was on Goodreads looking up the author, again, Nita Prose, I saw some rumblings that this may become a movie. I really hope so. I would love to see Molly the Maid come to life. Such a good story. It would make a great movie. So I guess we'll see. So we will read the synopsis as we always do before we really start digging into this. So right in the front cover, we see a dead body is one mess she can't clean up on her own. Molly Gray is not like everyone else. She struggles with social skills and misreads the intentions of others. Her gran used to interpret the world for her, codifying it into simple rules that Molly could live by. Since Gran died a few months ago, 25-year-old Molly has been navigating life's complexities all by herself. No matter, she throws herself with gusto into her work as a hotel maid. Her unique character, along with her obsessive love of cleaning and proper etiquette, makes her an ideal fit for the job. She delights in donning her crisp uniform each morning, stocking her cart with miniature soaps and bottles, and returning guest rooms at the Regency Grand Hotel to a state of perfection. But Molly's orderly life is upended the day she enters the suite of the infamous and wealthy Charles Black, only to find it in a state of disarray and Mr. Black himself dead in his bed. Before she knows what's happening, Molly's unusual demeanor has the police targeting her as their lead suspect. She quickly finds herself caught in a web of deception one has no idea how to untangle. Fortunately for Molly, friends she never knew she had unite with her in a search for clues to what really happened to Mr. Black. But will they be able to find the real killer before it's too late? Both a clue-like locked room mystery and a heartwarming journey of the spirit, The Maid explores what it means to be the same as everyone else and yet entirely different, and reveals that all mysteries can be solved through connection to the human heart. Okay, so even after rereading that, I want to read this book again. I mean, I'm sold. A clue-like locked room mystery and a heartwarming journey of the spirit. Absolutely, that's what this book is. Like I said, you're rooting for Molly. You want to big sister her. She needs it. And she's trying to solve this murder, and she just doesn't understand. Her social skills aren't there to pick up the clues around her. So good. You'll be screaming, Molly, no, do not do that, or like, please look at the clues around you, but she just doesn't get it. Like I said, right from just reading the synopsis, you already know this is going to be such a good book. And in the first few pages, I was already absolutely obsessed with Molly and who she is, and you can tell right away that she's just a little bit different. And here, just reading straight from the book, you can tell how committed she is to doing a good job and how obsessed with cleanliness or lack thereof she is. She is methodical, takes pride in her job, and it is just absolutely everything to her. So she says, as I place a hand on the shining brass railing and walk up the scarlet steps that lead to the hotel's majestic portico, I'm Dorothy entering Oz. I push through the gleaming revolving doors and I see my true self reflected in the glass. This is a girl who loves the hotel, who loves what she does, and you just adore her and you're just rooting for her. You want her to do well in her job and you want to help her through this. So I think anyone who enjoys books tries to start guessing where the plot might go. And this is one where you really think about halfway through, you know who all of the characters are, and you're starting to put some pieces together. And again, this one's a mystery, so you're starting to think, okay, who might have killed Mr. Black? Was it Molly? No, it can't be. Is it any of the other characters in the story? You're starting to understand some situations, or the author is revealing new situations that are questionable, but Molly just doesn't see it. She likes all of the bad people, and the characters who are giving you red flag after red flag, Molly thinks is so fantastic. She loves them. She just doesn't see it. So in this book, I thought I knew where the ending was going to go, but the ending blows your mind in the best way. So certain bits of it is a little bit predictable, but that's with any book. Once you really get into a story and you're invested in it, you can kind of guess where some of those pieces are going to go. But this one still does surprise you. I think I literally went as I read the last page because I was pleasantly surprised. Go Molly! So if you're looking for something that's super fun and a mystery but not predictable, give it a try. So I know I've said this before, but I'm not someone who can finish a book in a whole sitting like some other booktubers. I just don't have enough time to do that. But this book, I actually finished in 2 sittings, which is super impressive for me. It takes me a couple of days, or even a week for some longer books because I've got to read it in chunks as I get time. But this one, 2 sittings, loved that. This book was about 305 pages, if I remember correctly, and I felt like that was the perfect amount for this storyline. Was not too short, definitely not too long. I felt like the story wrapped up in a really nice way. Couldn't wait to get through it. And again, so this one's a mystery, but it's not a really dark mystery that you need to read during the middle of the day. It is a lighthearted and funny mystery. I loved the quote from the synopsis that this can be compared to a Clue type of style. Absolutely. You're trying to figure out who did it, but with lovable characters. There's nothing scary about this type of mystery style. So if you don't like scary type mysteries, this is still a good pick for you because it's a lighthearted read. Nothing to be worried about there. All right, and let's get into the final rating. So I would give this 4 stars out of 5. I loved the writing style. It was not too long. Like I said, the characters were developed in a nice way. The plot was nice, no complaints. And readability, such an easy read. Anyone could enjoy this. I personally felt like it's a really good book if you have taken a little break from reading and you don't want to get into something super long and daunting, to something that looks daunting to get into. This one, so good. You could very likely finish it in a night or two and you would enjoy every minute of it. So that wraps up our review of The Maid. Again, hopefully we will see this in theaters at some point. I think it would make a fantastic movie, and I can't wait to see Molly and her quirkiness come to life. All right, everyone, I'll see you for the next one. Thank you. Bye.